Hello guys, returning subscribers, it's a pleasure to have you back. If you are new here guys, welcome. My name is Judith. I'm based here in Thunder Bay, Northern Ontario, where I'm just sharing my journey, my experiences, and some immigration tips with fellow Africans and whoever finds it beneficial. In this one that I'm making today, I want to share with you guys how I got my first job here in Canada. So before I do that, so many people are asking, how did you manage to move as a family? So guys, when we moved here, we were not coming from Zimbabwe. We were coming from the Democratic Republic of Congo. We had stayed there for 15 years. And we are here on religious work permit. My husband is a pastor. So myself and the kids, we are on dependent visa and I'm on open work permit. So we are still to convert our work permit to permanent residence actually. And that's how I'm gathering all that information about the different immigration pathways because guys, I'm right in the middle of it myself. Okay, so let me go back to my testimony of finding a job. Before coming here, I had already started researching, watching YouTube videos on how to find a job when you come, what kind of jobs should you look for and everything. And one thing that I understood is that it might be difficult to connect to your career field when you come. So I was already psychologically prepared to delve into anything because what I wanted is to work as soon as I got here. I didn't want to spend too much time at home because guys, if you are a couple and you have children, the bills here in Canada, they mount up. So it's always better when it's the two of you and you are bringing in two incomes. So we got here in February 2022 and I started already sending in applications. And one thing, before we came, I had watched one YouTube video where one fellow Zimbabwean brother, I think, was sharing about how you can do personal support work training online with one American Caregivers Association, and you can be able to use that qualification to find a job here. So it was just some short course that I did online. So I did that course and I packed my certificates with me, ready to come here to Canada to find a job as a personal support worker or whatever was going to come my way. So as soon as we came in, I started looking for a job and I was also applying for personal support work because I just wanted something to do. And then once I get a job, I can be able to figure out how I can go back to my career or see where God will lead me. But at the same time, I did not stop applying for accounting jobs. Whenever I saw an accounting job, I would apply. And I shared already the website where I got my job from. It was the Canada Indeed website. So I was sending in applications, but I had a challenge with personal support work because they wanted someone who had trained here in Canada. That's why, guys, I advised on my Facebook page that if you are going to look for caregiving work, then you really need to make sure that you are trained and you have the experience because here they value that. But anyway, stories are different. It depends on how your story was written again. So we came in here and I was applying for caregiving work, and the response that I was getting from most of them was that they wanted someone who was driving because the work would involve moving from one place to another. And at that time, I didn't have a license. We didn't even have a car yet. So that was a non-starter for me. But some agencies were willing to train you on the job. Like if you were not experienced, they were willing to hire you. Then they train you for 3 weeks to 6 weeks, I think. So they were ready to hire. But then again, I didn't have a car and I didn't have a license. So that kind of did not work with my conditions at that time. So one day I saw an accounting job that was posted on the Canada Indeed website. And when I saw that job, like what was written, the job responsibilities, and even the accounting software that I was supposed to use was exactly the same as what I was doing in my previous job. So when I was applying for this job, I remember making a prayer to God saying, God, this is the job for me. Like everything that they are writing here, I know how to do this. And even you, God, you know that I can do this. I was almost maybe becoming frustrated because I was sending in applications. Some companies will not respond. Some will respond and say, oh, we have already hired someone. And so, when you're looking for a job, it's never easy, but you just put all your trust in God. And anyway, I'd only come in February and I got my job within 2 months. So when I applied for this job, a few days after, I was called for an interview. They told me that the interview was going to be on Zoom. It was going to be a Zoom interview because COVID-19 was still happening. So they set me up for a Zoom interview. And I prepared for that interview. I remember I was even taking videos, just like what I'm doing right now, answering some questions, watching YouTube videos. I've learned a lot from YouTube. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, because YouTube has helped me a lot, especially in this transition of moving from one country to another. So I was watching YouTube videos on how to answer some of the questions. I also practiced a bit about the software and everything. And I felt that I'm prepared. The day of the interview came, and I was interviewed by three people, three ladies actually. And guys, I thought it was going to be maybe 20 to 30 minutes interview. Guys, the interview went on for, I think, 1 hour or more. Well, after the interview, I just said to myself, well, God, I've done my part. The rest is up to you. And what I realized is that in the interview, of course, they asked technical questions pertaining to the job, but much of it had to do with me as a person, like how I'll be able to relate to other people. Am I able to work as a team? If I find myself in this kind of a situation, how will I respond and everything? So it had more to do with testing my level of emotional intelligence rather than me knowing accounting. But I just made sure that every question that I was asked, I would say something. And at least that made me think, okay, I've tried. So after the interview, a few days after, the executive assistant called me again. And she told me, now, this time the CEO wants to meet you in person. So I said, well, okay, it means something. When they are calling you for the second time, then it means there's something positive cooking up. So I went to meet the CEO, and again, it was a long one, but this one was not as scary as the one that I did on Zoom, because the CEO made me very comfortable. It was more like a chit chat, like she just wanted to get to know me again as a person rather than what I can do. And towards the end of the chat, if I can call it that, then she told me, so when can you start? Guys, I was so surprised. And I told her, oh, so does it mean I got the job already? And she told me, yes, we are hiring you on the spot. I didn't go back home so they can call me. I got the job on the spot. And to me, it can only be God. And I thought it was going to just be some kind of bookkeeping position, but they were actually looking for a finance assistant to work with the financial manager. I love the job, and I'm grateful to God for providing this opportunity for me. And even the salary that I was offered, in my mind, I had something else, not to brag, but just to acknowledge this God who is able to do more than what we can ask or imagine, guys. So this video, I'm making it just to inspire someone out there that take your supplications and requests to God. He knows your needs and he knows what you want. I never expected that within 2 months I'll find a job, and a job in my career field. I love accounting, and right now, guys, so as much as I'm doing this YouTube business of sharing information with you, I'm also pursuing my studies so that eventually one day I can become a chartered professional accountant here in Canada, because that's my dream and those are my aspirations. Why am I sharing this? I'm just sharing to inspire. I'm sharing to encourage that never limit God. Even this coming to Canada, as much as the journey might seem so difficult and impossible, but God knows the best. Of course, if you see that Canada is not working, then I assure you there's always something better for you that God has prepared. So guys, be inspired by my story. And my advice to someone who's coming in to Canada is, number one, be ready to do anything, because a Canadian experience is very important. Like most of the companies, they will be saying, have you worked here? So don't be picky. Like, okay, if you were an accountant back home, you only want an accounting job. Just be ready to go out there and show that you are capable. Because when you go out there, you get to meet people, and people will discover the talent that you have, and that's how you will find your next dream job. That's my advice number one. Advice number two, networking is very important here. Back home, even in Africa, I think we know about nepotism, where you get a job if you know someone and everything. But here, it's a matter of going out there, mixing and mingling with people, letting people know that I'm looking for a job and this is what I'm capable of doing. And just be ready to go out there and show yourself. You can even take up even volunteering opportunities if there are any. Even though you are not going to be paid, but the experience will help you, because as you are doing that, you get to meet people, you get to network. And number three, use the resources that are available. Like here in Thunder Bay, we have, I think in every city anyway, there is a multicultural association center where you can go to find a lot of resources that will help you to settle and even to find a job. There are employment agencies that offer services. Like for me, my resume, to make my resume into a Canadian style, I actually went to one employment agency and they helped me to do that for free. I didn't pay any money. So use those resources and just go out there and God will bless you at the end. So guys, I hope you are inspired. I hope this story will encourage someone. Be blessed, and I'll see you again in my next video. Remember guys, to like, share the video. You never know who's going to be encouraged. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button so that when I upload another video, you'll be notified. Be blessed.